welcome back. We're back with Kyle, back at Black Nova Designs in Kyle's office. Like literally, this is Kyle's office. So we're out on location, but this time we're talking all about web hosting and why we should use Black Nova to host our website. Kyle, welcome back in, mate. Welcome. It's weird saying welcome back because we've already done one show, which went out recently, and now we're in your office. So let's talk about web hosting, right? You guys, let's talk about what it is first. I think that's probably the best subject to go down.
Yeah.
What is web hosting?
The technical term is it's a server with a lot of data on it, or in short layman's terms, it's where you store your website, basically.
So, okay. This is something right now. I do know about web hosting. And I understand it. Okay, it's basically the plot of land where all my websites, and then you've got shared hosting, and you've got multi-site hosting, and you've got all of these different terms. Okay.
Yeah.
I put this into concept for someone once, and I used it as a block of flats.
Yeah.
So when you've got a plot of land, and then you've got like a leasehold where you've got a load of flats.
Yeah.
And they're all on one block of land. So when you share host, you basically share your block of land with 20 or 30 other flats.
Yeah.
All right. The problem is when the ground floor flat catches fire, the whole lot catches fire.
Yeah.
All right. And if that crashes, the whole lot crash.
Yeah.
Then you got like a freehold where you've got a plot of land with a house on it, and it's just yours. Right. Yeah. Obviously, you pay a lot more.
Yeah.
In theory, right. And you can have as big a house as you want.
Yeah.
But the bigger the house, the more you
pay.
pay for it, right? Is that a fair analogy?
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly how we analogize it ourselves, in the sense that, like you say, shared hosting is a block of flats. You don't own the land and you don't own the building. However, you do own the bit of property right in the middle. So, like you say, it can be that dangerous environment where, yes, you put stepping stones in place, like fire alarms and stuff like that. So if a fire catches, hopefully it stays there and doesn't spread. However, in a shared hosting environment, and in that sense, it can, and sometimes if they're good enough, it will spread. The fire could be big. It could be something that you can't catch. You've got VPS territory, which is virtual private servers. That's kind of like you're not a landowner, but you're a house owner. So you've got the leasehold, but not the freehold, which means you have the building, but you don't own the land. So it's kind of half yours. It's kind of not. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, but still, inevitably, the land isn't yours. And then you've got the third one, which is the big one, which is the dedicated hosting, which is I own everything. I own the land. I own the house. If I want to go massive, I can. Obviously, like all of them, the more you put in, the more expensive it gets. Yeah. But yeah, that's the nitty gritty of it. That's the best way of looking at it.
So this is a question I wanted to ask you, because you guys have your own hosting.
Yeah.
Now, do you have your own servers?
Yes.
And I'm assuming those servers are now on a secure site somewhere. You own them, and basically you've got cabinets with lots of memory cards in, right?
Yeah.
Now, how do you secure that? So if I say for example, we move Cena Bounds over to you.
Yeah.
What happens if the actual building that your servers are in catches fire?
So that's the inevitable one. We've got in our DC, we've got fire suppression systems, we've got gas fire suppression systems. So we don't use foam because obviously we don't want to flood the servers full of water or foam.
Yeah.
So we use gas. Generally, they've got a response time of stupid milliseconds. As soon as they detect a fire, they're off. They're already spraying the room and they're already clear. Then they get but inevitably, if they failed, that is it. The servers are there. We've obviously got backups off-site, on-site, and stuff like that. So we can go and buy brand new tin, or buy our new houses, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then restore all the data. But then there is still downtime. That's one of the biggest fundamental flaws of all hosting, really. We are getting into an age now where we can mirror stuff. So we can have an entire DC1, shall we say, mirrored to DC2, and they will be identical, and it's what we call a black site, in the sense that we turn it on when this one goes bang.
Yeah.
But in our territory at the moment, we haven't got that sort of capital to build those sort of size things. But in the really, really big world, that's your ideal environment.
And that's effectively all sites have the same problem, right? So it doesn't matter where you host.
Yeah.
Whether it be through WordPress, whether it be through GoDaddy, 123, they're in the same boat, right? Somewhere in the ethos is a building with lots of memory cards in.
Yeah, and it's basically we had this personally ourselves. We had it years ago when we first started up the company and did hosting. We actually had one of those data centers went up, didn't go up in flames, but they had a lot of servers drop and fail and just didn't work at all. We lost our backups, we lost our data, everything.
Wow.
And that was very early on in the years. Don't get me wrong, we got free hosting for a year after that with dedicated servers and whatnot, but that made me realize how important backups and everything of our own were. So we now do it ourselves. But it affects, and they were a big company, and I won't name their names, but they were a huge company, multi-million-pound company, and they still had the same problem. So it doesn't matter who you go with. Data center fires are dangerous, and it does happen.
So let's talk a little bit about cloud storage, right?
Yeah.
So it's a terminology I've heard a lot of, right? And the cloud, right?
Yep.
What is the cloud?
So cloud is basically what we're, as a hosting company, trying to move to. It's still servers. It's still somebody's server in the corner, but it's what cloud hosting works where it's multiple servers all linked together. So that's why we call that replication. So if one died, it just moves over to another one, and it just moves around. So you never really have that loss factor, because unless it all goes bang at the same time.
Yeah, you're talking milliseconds, aren't you?
Yeah, you generally will. They like VPSs you can have on self-heal. So they will go, as soon as it detects it's fallen on that line, it opens up another one and it's back up. So it just moves around. Without getting too technical, you basically have what we call node servers, storage box, and that's kind of how they work. So there's all your data is in a storage box, as we call it, and then the node servers are, if that goes bang, it just moves to another node and it just keeps moving around.
Okay.
That's cloud. It's basically a large environment. It's like an estate. It's probably the best way of looking at it. It's like the estate.
The estate.
You own the estate, but that is what it is. I can, you know what? My east wing's on fire. I'm going to the west wing today, so it's all good.
That sounds more like a prison. Okay, so look, you guys host. You guys run your own servers. You got your own hosting. Like, why would I use you? What's the benefit to me, other than the fact that I know you personally? But what's the benefit?
You named it right there. Personal. We are personal. We try to get to know you. We try to know your business. I mean, we can't know your business in and out because you are the guys that got the most passion about your business. But we try to be involved with you. We try to do partner enablement. So we want to partner with you as if you're friends of us, not just another money pit. You're not another client that's just on the books. We want to get to know you. If you've got a plan that you want to build, or even you've just got an idea, chuck it at us. We want to chat because we want to get it done and we want to do something cool. And there's stuff that we've done pro bono as well because we just thought, you know what, that's really cool. Let's do it. And that's sort of like the hosting environment. We've helped with that side massively in the sense that we've had people that have really, really struggled, especially in COVID. We even did I think we did a couple of people we said we'll cover the cost of the year because we saw so much of a business there that we thought, you know what, let's enable them to be able to keep going. And now they're huge. They've done well. And that's kind of what we do. We're personal. But we know we're both in the industry. Well, in the sense that we've been in the industry long enough to do it for other companies, but now we do it ourselves. So we've got the experience. So if you take just the personal side, you've got the professional side as well. So you kind of got a full house instead of being just another sort of big number company that just likes to think sales.
And I think the big one is you can pick up the phone, right? Like this is what makes us different as a business, as Seen Abounds as a business, is like the customer service line is in my pocket right now.
Yeah.
You know, and you're the same, right? So if I had a problem, I just pick the phone.
Yeah.
And I ring you. And I'm like, Kyle,
what do I do?
Can you help me?
Yeah.
Because look, I've done it before now where I've pressed the link. Right, I've hit the link, the infamous link.
Yeah,
shut myself down. Right,
yeah.
But I've been able to pick up to our our host manager and just gone, right, you need to just lock us out.
Yeah,
you know, and that is it's part of what you're paying for.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we try to say to people. Like, it's not you're not just paying for a service with us; you're paying for us to be your soundboard as well. We do get people that are like, oh, yeah, but you're a little bit more expensive than the £1 hosting around the corner. And I'm like, yeah, but when you need to fix something, try and ring them. I guarantee you won't get free. Whereas with us, most of the time, I can't say 100% of the time, but 99% of the time, we'll probably answer that phone probably within 2 rings. And we're already on the phone trying to sort out what's going on. Or we've already spotted it before you've spotted it and we're fixing it.
Now, I want to just revert over to the monitor that I can see over there.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's to do with it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's our hosting environment. I'm always watching it 24/7.
Yeah, no, you can't see it, right? It's over there, and we're not. I'm not a videographer, so I don't have cameras all over the place. All right, but on there is. So tell us a little bit about what you're looking at. It's. I wish I could just turn the camera, but like, tell us a little bit about that. You've got the time on there when everything's running, speeds.
So I've got so the top ones at the moment are different time zones. So I've got Brisbane, I've got London, and I've got America, because we got a couple of suppliers that we work with in America. So trying to get a hold of them, we make sure that we're in time with them. Brisbane is actually a bit more of a vision board. Brisbane is sort of Australia. We want to get some clients in there, and we want to build a hosting environment over in Australia. So I'm keeping an eye on the times, how they work, and also we travel to Australia every so often, so we know when our time zone is compared to the UK. So we almost get a 24-hour response time when we're over there. Underneath that, it's just under that one, we've got the big graphs, which is incoming and outgoing traffic, so we can see how much people have put in data-wise in and data going out, so we know who's downloading, uploading, that sort of stuff. The right at the bottom, the boxes, that one's just warnings. If it goes anywhere too far to the left, then I start worrying, because that's starting to go into critical errors, and we're going, uh-oh. Warnings, we don't tend to worry about, because that's normally like somebody's using a lot of power, and that's probably because they've uploaded in 1,000 photos.
Yeah.
So warning, if it stays there for too long, then I get a little bit like, okay, what's going on? But generally, that's it. So it's just a graph, basically, in quick colours.
And you're basically keeping an eye on everything that you're doing.
Yeah, that's every single thing, from the physical web servers to the domain controllers that do all the domains. It's also looking at the backup boxes, so we know the backup boxes are running. That's why I say we normally know before you know, because we got that on 1 minute scheduling, so we know every single minute what's going on. So every minute we'll get a refresh of what they're doing, and then it just keeps flicking over every minute, so we know everything. The other one's a CPU load, so we know if the servers are they're being absolutely hammered, because we see something like a CPU load going up. Might be a DDoS attack. Somebody's absolutely hammering the servers, and we're going, okay, they're overloaded. What's going on?
Yeah, this is what we have.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of hack attempts on our site, and we can see them. We can see them coming in, and so we have to keep an eye on that. But ours is done off a dashboard on our site. We've got to go onto the site.
Yeah. So we do it way before that. So you should never see them, because we hit them before they even get to into our data center. We are hitting them way before. So we've got mitigation services of DDoS protection. So that's a good level of stuff. Our DDoS protection is at the same level as the NHS.
Wow.
So we've got absolutely tons of power to be able to throw at it if we need to move out. And that will mitigate in milliseconds before it even gets to the data center. So our servers haven't even seen it.
It's incredible. So, okay, so look, the point of the matter is here, right? If you want a professional to be running your website, to be hosting what you're doing, to be keeping an eye on everything on the back end, to be looking after your asset, one of your most valuable assets within business, okay, then quite frankly, Kyle at Black Nova is the guy you need to be speaking to. So if someone is now, they're watching this and they're thinking about their hosting, right? As I am, right? And as we've had this conversation, I'm currently thinking about my hosting and thinking about what that actually means and what I need to do with it. What would be your top tip for them?
So normally when we do spec outs for anybody, it's like, take what you're using at the moment, add 50% on top at least, just to give yourself an overhead. So if you say you got 5 gig, okay, make it at least, I don't know, 7.5 gigs, so that you know when you move, you've got space to grow.
Yeah.
Also, prices and everything. The cheapest doesn't mean the best, and the most expensive doesn't also mean the best. But the other thing is ask questions. Massively ask questions. If you know your host, or even if you got a host that you're looking to go to, ask them questions. I expect most people say, I don't know what I need, but can you give us a recommended? And that's sort of the key things. Ask questions. Do you have this? Even get somebody that does have a bit of knowledge in it and get them to write up some questions and ask your host. Your host, if they are personable or even just a good host, they'll answer those with good knowledge. They shouldn't go, well, I don't know, I'll chat to, because without shooting myself in the foot here, quite a few hosts that we know are resellers. They're not actually the host themselves.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of people reselling somebody else's hosting. Don't get me wrong, we do the same thing in the sense that we have clients that sell our hosting to their clients, but they openly admit to their clients, we are the host, we know all the knowledge, not them.
Yeah.
But you will get people that will sell like SiteGround or GoDaddy to somebody else. And that when you ask those questions, they won't know those questions. And that's a classic example of knowing if your host is going to be good or not. It's a really handy thing to do. Ask the questions. Have I got unlimited storage? And is that unlimited actually unlimited, for example? How many websites can I put my host in? How much space do I have? Do you have DDoS protection? Obviously, we all suffered from it. And loads of people go, I've never seen it. That's probably because your host is doing it, but it's a good one to ask. Do you have good support, 24/7 support? I mean, ours is 24/7, but it's ad hoc 24/7 in the sense that if you ring me at 3, I'm not amazingly happy about it, but I will get up and get on with it. Where are their servers located? Good one to ask. The simple fact is a lot of people go, I want my hosting from them. They're a pound, they're great, but they're in the middle of Frankfurt or in the middle of US and all your customers are in the UK. That's another good one to think about.
Slow your site down.
Yeah. Think about where you're going to have it located, because obviously if all your clients are in the UK, you want a UK hosting company, because then that way the server is in the UK, speeds up your website for the UK customers, instead of having it in the middle of, I don't know, but it could be in the furthest point of America. If you've got to think that data's got to travel all the way down the tunnel to get to the UK, which means you've already slowed them down.
Perfect. Well, look, I think that's some really good top tips there. We've gone well over.
Yeah, I was going to say.
All right, we've blown the timescales off the show, but I just don't care. Kyle, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Two great subjects that we've done, which is hosting and AI. And I think when you look at those two together, it's a lot of food for thought there. Yeah. And I'm really looking forward to having a chat with you off here. So from both of us, till next time, take care. Goodbye.
Take care.